Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We have today scissors and spools, we have the Sewcialites, and I have a little bit more on the butterfly quilt. So we're going to do the butterfly quilt first. Okay, then I can change things out. So I finished these right after I filmed that evening. I finished all of them. So I am on point. I am on track for this quilt, which, you know, doesn't that feel good when you're not behind? I mean, even though I'm doing this so long, hey, life happens, you get behind. So what I did is I moved these, I shuffled them around a little bit, and I'm gonna go to the other camera, and then we'll go to the table and talk about the half square triangle sort of approach that I'm going for. So let's take a look. Here are all the little blocks. I got them lined up. I think I'll go ahead and put them on the wall in approximately the places they will go. Like right now I've got like a bunch of stuff grouped in here that's not really there, and I went ahead and moved that purple one up because those wheel and pie blocks get filled in here. So I'm going to move those purple up there and then go ahead and put these guys up on the wall. There's all the blocks. This is looking so fabulous. I did move things around so they're sort of similar to where they'll be without the pies and the wheel blocks. And of course the little half square triangles are what we'll be working on next. There's the 4 that I've done. Now there is a body that is multicolor, and I think I'm going to do mine in black and white instead. That just seems more interesting to me. I just kind of love the feel of that black and white. So we're going to go on the table now over to the back table here and take a look at the fabrics for the half square triangles. What I want to do is examine what fabrics I have available that really aren't going to be used again and do the half square triangles from those. Now I am working from the kit that came out to go with this, so my fabrics are like this, although I've added in a few little pieces here and there of my fabric, you know, that wasn't in the kit, but not that much. And I can add a bit more of those on the half square triangles if I want to. The wheels and the pie shapes, which are these, you know, circles, I am going to use just the kit fabric. And what I've done now, let me just show you how I've pulled from the fabrics the ones that still need to be used and then what we have left. Okay, so exciting. First of all, I am using this back part. And there are still some other units prior to these. I was thinking it was just the body, but there's actually a group of flying geese here and then this flying geese there. So my body, I am going to do the black and white version, but if you bought the kit, it came with the colorful version. And my squares happen to be in order, which I assume they all are, of the body colors. So it starts at the bottom. So the navy, teal, green, orange, rust, etc. So they're all in order. So I am just leaving them like that in case for some reason I change my mind. But it also, that gives me the ability to sort of snag one of these if I need to for the half square triangles, because I'm going to use my own black fabric and do this as black. All right, so that means I needed to find the fabrics for these flying geese, since I wasn't, I'd forgotten that we have to do those, so I was looking in the book. So here we go. I've got the flying geese fabrics. It's all this sort of chartreusey, yummy, greeny yellows. So I've got all those pulled. They are going to be stacked over there with the body. And then the other thing I need to do now is pull for this purples, because this is the only circle block at the top portion. There aren't any small ones. Those are all down at the bottom level with different colors. So that makes it super easy with this quilt. So we will just shift over here a little bit. So I went ahead and got all of those colors. I've got the purple, the floral, the polka dot, and the lighter purple. So this purple, it will be used again in the lower half a little bit, but that's okay. So these will be grouped together. I'm going to keep those together. So I'm going to probably just take these maybe and roll them, something like this, into my project bin so that I know. I'm not really sure. I don't, now that I've got them all organized, I want to keep them this way. So these sort of piles that I'm showing you right now, these are the other two. We've got the teal So there's two of them in the teal, the wheel and the pie, and that is the polka dot, the floral, this honeycomb, the geode, and a teal, solid teal. And then the others are more this bluey color. So I've got the solid, the geode, the floral, the honeycomb, and the polka dot. And that is for this block and this block and this block. Yeah, so there's 3 blocks that will come from this. That means right now these are all of what I just showed you, including, let me bring the green over. All of this is off limits for half square triangles. So I will that's probably what I'll do, is just fold them in half with this bigger backing piece like that, so that I can stack them. See, then I can stack them and I know, like, this is what I did. So I'm going to have this group, and they are just to be kept, you know, for those pieces when we get to them. And then here is the body part, and I'll kind of put that, so these, I may even put them in a plastic bag. So that left me with all of these that I can look at for half square triangles. Now I didn't have a whole lot of this one left. That's okay. I've got tons of other colors. And on the pattern, you can see here, so I've got tons. So on the pattern, they give you, you know, you look here and you can see, like I won't do these because they're the polka dots and I need to make that block before I do them. But I can come down here and do these pinks and oranges here. I can do some of these turquoise, you know, so there are some I can do as long as they are not pulled off for the other stuff. So I do have to look at it a bit, like this grouping here, this peach and yellow, anything with peach and yellow, except, yeah, anything with peach and yellow is pretty good, because I mean peach and that one yellow, that darker yellow, and the oranges, all those are good. So I'll probably do all of those and get them ready to sew as I'm doing other things this week, you know, have them as my sort of start and stop pieces, because I've been doing that with the 2.5 inch squares for the aqua blocks. Here's how many aqua blocks I have now. Look at this stack. Doesn't that look amazing? So exciting. But I have this whole group. I was just doing strip sets, you know, just the 4 at a time. And so I have to press all these and then make them into a block like this. And once these are done, then I will use triangles from the butterfly quilt as my start and stop. And I will stack those by the machine so I can be working on them. So I wanted to tell you how I plan it. You know, maybe you hadn't thought about doing a plan for it, but that way, because we still have those the flying geese, and then we have the pies and the wheels to do, I can then, as those fabrics free up, I will add those in. And I will probably, I don't know, do you write in your books? Do you? Oh, I could write in the book. Oh, I don't know. I don't really write in books very much, but I could check them off. Maybe I'll just make a copy. Make a black and white copy and check them off, because it would be nice to check off where I'm at, and if I've substituted something that I've done that one already. So somewhere I think I think I can do it digital and print that black and white. Okay. I can't write in the book. Can't. No. All right. Let's go back to the other side of the table. And I want to remind you to get your backing. This is the backing that I'm going to have for the quilt. Love it. Love it. Love these oversized suns. So pretty. So that is available. So if you haven't picked it up, link is down below and at my website today. So I need to take, oh wait, before I do that. I have a couple goodies that I got. I have to show you. When we were down in Harrisonburg to the Virginia Quilt Museum, we stopped in a couple places. So I found a couple of things that I thought were super cute. One is this big jar. Look at that. Look at that. Bobbins and things. And look how pretty it all is. That black and white. Black and white is so great because you can add it in with your other things, and it's just got kind of a rubber ring lock, so nice. And then I'll show you this picture. I I think he was about 4 feet tall, seriously. He almost came home with me. He had a little bit pricey tag on him, a little too pricey, but instead I got, and they were on sale, the original pink flamingos for your yard. I have wanted these in like forever. I have wanted them. Now, Mr. Greg tells me I can put them out in the backyard where I can see them out my window. I think he's trying to tell me he doesn't want them in the front yard. Oh, I think the backyard's appropriate. Yeah, I think so. But so fun. So I got these. Okay, let me change out the things on the wall so we can talk about Sewcialites. I decided to put up the setting for Sewcialites. Here are the fabrics that I am using. And I don't have, there's another star like this one, like the blue one that's in the middle, but I haven't decided what color I want that to be. So I'm thinking after I put some of the blocks up, I'll have a little bit better idea where to go with that. Because I've got blue, brown, and red stars right now. And I don't know, I'm thinking it needs to be red, and a red one in the middle. So I might just end up doing that. So I wanted to show you the structure of it, and I'll go ahead and get the other camera out, and I'll show you the structure, and then I will put the blocks up with the other, and with the other camera, we'll take a look at it head on and see how they look. There it is, face on, and you can see like the star, this star will be repeated down here, and I'm thinking it has to be red. That makes sense now that I'm looking at it again. I had this up once before. Remember, the pattern for the layout comes at the end. The Fat Quarter Shop usually gives it to you at the end of the sew along, but I needed to have it, you know, ahead, and because I'm in this one, I get to have it. So I have it made up. Now, I did those quarter square blocks for the centers of these, because normally they would have, the pattern that has it just as a white square or background square, whatever background color you're using. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the blocks in that we've done so far, which are quite a few, and then we'll take another look. There are the blocks in position. The setting actually has like a double star. It's a double star in the middle. So you can see that I was thinking one star, and then there's all the block positions that you'll have. But yeah, it's looking so good. So good. Now, I haven't really placed the blocks exactly how I'd want them. I think they're just sort of put up there. Although there's some that have more blue, so I would not want them like in the, I want ones in the center of the blue that have a lot less or no blue, and the brown kind of the same, so that it doesn't sort of blend in, because otherwise it tends to do that a little bit. But it's not going to be able to be perfect like that. So now the next thing is, if I decide to do red, which I think I'm going to do red, do I do the same red or a different red? What do you think? And the block this week is Crazy Christmas by Corey Yoder, my friend Corey. So isn't that a beautiful block? I am doing the 6-inch blocks. I forgot to mention that. It comes in 3-inch and 9-inch. This would be a gorgeous pillow, don't you think? In a 9-inch with maybe a little border around it, maybe the same color as the backing to float it as a pillow. So now with getting a chance to see my setting, hopefully that lets you start thinking about your colors that you'll use for your setting and how you'll set that up. And I will work on getting my middle blocks done so I can move that along as well. And they are the quarter square triangles again. So this block would go, will go somewhere along. I'll just stick it up there for right now. Okay, now we have our scissors and spools. We are on week 3 of that. And I have my red one, and I'm going to trim it. So we'll walk through trimming one block up for a little mini quilt on the other side. Let's go ahead and trim off my one block for the spools and scissors and spools. Yes, exciting. Then I get to put binding. I don't know what color binding to do. Should I do black? That's what I'm thinking, black binding. Or I could do red, but red stripe or black. Red stripe or black? Okay, so what I'm going to do is just line up a straight line along this seam that's on the top of the scissors, because that's what I'm going to consider my straight line. And then I look over here to be sure I am, even. Do I got a straight line? Yep. So I'm trimming. And this is the final quilt trim. So I am just making it square. And now when I want to trim up here, I will run a line along that seam and be sure then that this is square. So I'm along the seam and this is square. Now, you know, I need to get my line where I can trim. So I had to shove it, you know, put it down a little bit to smaller notches in between. Okay, and then we'll do the other two. And I've got it a straight line along this edge on the outer edge, and I have a straight line along that seam, and I'm looking down here to see if that is also straight, just kind of getting everything on some sort of a straight line so I'm not cockeyed anywhere when I'm trimming. Okay, and this is the last one, and I'm using one of the internal lines on here. I've got straight line along the bottom so that I'm straight on that outside edge. It's hard to see the white against the batting, but it's there. Okay, so now I am ready to do binding on this guy. So I think I might see about the red stripe. Okay, so I want to see today your scissors and spool block. I would love to see more of them. I know you're making them, so share them in the group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. So now this trimmed, I can put a sample the stripe. What do you think? What do you think about that stripe? Here, I'll hold it back here. I think the black would look really good too, but you know, a stripe on the binding is just the ultimate quilt binding for me, is a stripe. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go for the stripe. I'm going to put that on and have it ready for next week. I also think this would be adorable with selvages from the edges of your quilt. Just do the spool part in that. That would make another really cute option. Now Wendy, who designed this pattern, Wendy Shepard, who is also the one that I'm working with, my buddy Wendy on the Harrisonburg quilt, she has a few blocks that she did up, and I have those to show you, so let's take a look. Here are some spool blocks from Wendy. First, her whole quilt that she did in my bird song. Oh my goodness. It's when she showed that I just knew I had to make, we had to do a sew along with this pattern. So here's some close-ups of bird song with the green and then the peach and the pink with the bird in the middle of the spool. So cute. Then she did, here's a couple other blocks, her blue one with the gingham, the blue gingham, and this is using like a fabric line that has scissors and things, and there's the peach version. You can see the scissors, aren't those so cute? And then look on the right, you can see there's one in pink as well. Thank you, Wendy, for sharing these. Your pattern is amazing. So we will wrap up with, today is Cafe au Lait Day. So if you are looking for a coffee cup pattern, here is a picture of one of my free patterns, and I have a link down below and at my website for this today. I couldn't find the real quilt real quick. I looked for it, and you know, it's not very big, so it's probably tucked under some other ones, but this is what it looks like. Now you're going to do your Sewcialites. Remember, this is a free quilt along from the Fat Quarter Shop with a whole bunch of friend designers, and we were just having a great time. And then if you have not started your scissor block yet, now some of you are probably making more than one, but I know a lot of you are just doing one for your studio, like I'm doing this extra one, so I can't wait to see them. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.